Fear. It's the one primal emotion you may be aware of. Everyone's scared of something. It's what shapes us, makes us human. You may be experiencing it now. You may be thinking, that intro's a little bit intense. What's this suspiciously dressed man on about? And will he ever get to the point? The point is this: trauma. Childhood trauma. We've all had stuff that has spooked and scared us as a child, whether it be getting lost in a busy IKEA, or in the dead of night, your brother jumping out of you wearing a hockey mask saying, "You're always mum's least favourite child." Well, I'm going to talk about the trauma I sustained from the media I consumed as a child. The sort of scenes that made me want to hide behind the sofa. The sort of scenes that were too intense for a PG rating, or too intense for the watershed for me. And maybe at the end of this, I'll get some closure, or at least a higher grade. Peter Jackson's King Kong from 2005 is what I would consider a good movie. It has everything I like in a film: dinosaurs, stunning vistas, Adrian Brody, and a giant monkey. It also has what I consider the scariest thing I've seen on ITV2, next to Brendan Fraser's acting in The Mummy 3, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. The scene starts off with Adrian Brody, Jack Black, and Jamie Bell stuck in a giant chasm on Skull Island. I'd like to call this scene Insectophobia in 3D, or alternatively, Australia Uncut. For those who don't know, I'm scared of many things. One of those things is giant insects. I like my insects to be this big, not this big. The scene features, as I can remember, giant crickets, giant beetles, giant scorpion crabs, and these things. I like to call them scary maggots, or unfortunate imagery. So what scared me about this scene? Well, all I have to say is look at what's on screen. Giant insects, being enclosed in a small environment with threats coming in from all angles and crevices. A terrible haunting score, the hopelessness of the scene, the hopelessness tone, and this scene. And let's not forget Andy Serkis being consumed by giant maggots. Seeing Andy Serkis get slowly digested by giant maggot worms was not something I wanted to witness as a small child. But I did, and my eyes vomited, and I vomited, but only on the inside. The only issue I have with the scene is its conclusion. It ends with the imagery of a man Tarzaning with a Tommy gun, shooting bugs left, right and centre, which kind of kills the immersion and tone for me, only because the CGI was a little bit wonky. So overall though, as a kid it was terrifying, because people dying in horrific ways is not something I think any child should see until the ripe old age of 12. Raiders of the Lost Ark is a cinematic masterpiece. It has everything. It has great stunt work, great acting, great characters, amazing cinematography, a beautiful score, and it's one of the best scores John Williams has composed. Right, it has everything, you know? And if you haven't seen it yet, get on it. In fact, I have some Indiana Jones merchandise right here. I have, yes, The Adventures of Younger Indiana Jones, Volume 1. This is all I have left, and I can tell you where it belongs. Over there, because we're not on about the mediocre Indiana Jones, we're on about the real best Indiana Jones film, Raiders of the Lost Ark. It also has this lovely imagery. Yes, you witnessed a man's face being burnt from his flesh to the bone. It should be noted that on all VHS and DVD cases, this film is rated PG, as in parental guidance. It says, and I quote, "General viewing, but some scenes may be unsuitable for young children." For those who don't know, this film was made before PG-13 was a thing. So in America there was only about maybe 3 rating systems, which was G, PG, and R. And Indiana Jones falls straight slap bang in the middle. So you could get away with a lot more stuff in the 80s. That's why Gremlins was also rated PG. Yeah, and what I love about what it says on the back of most of these DVDs is some scenes may be unsuitable for young children. Yeah. Seeing a man's face burnt down to the bone? May be unsuitable for your child. Seeing a man's face get sucked inwards? You know, may be unsuitable. It may cause trauma. You may have to pay some money for therapy. Seeing a man blow up? Yeah, I know that's called PG, as in, that priest is gone. So what scared me about this scene? Well, it has ghosts, ghost women, and actually you can pinpoint the scene where my pants went from slightly white to slightly brown, metaphorically. It's the scene where a lady's face turns into a skull, and the music cranks up from relative 5 to a 10. Then everyone starts screaming, a man's face melts, as we've mentioned, man's face gets sucked in, Nazis get beamed. Yeah, the deaths in this scene are not quick or painless. They are slow, painful, and something I don't think anyone under the age of 15 should see. In conclusion, I think what we can gather from these scenes is that I'm scared of the following things. Death. I don't like seeing people die in horrific ways, and these scenes perfectly showcase dying in horrific ways. And as a kid, when you see someone die horrifically, you like to imagine, I can imagine that happening to me, dying in a horrific way. So what I gathered from this is I don't like giant worms, and I don't like the wrath of God.